must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, wherever you are across the world. This is Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting all the way from the Political Command Center in Mombasa, and then across the globe, back in the headquarters of Punchline Africa Television, is none other than Miriam Ogotu. Good morning, Miriam.
A very good morning to you, Doctor, there from the coastal city of Mombasa. In Nairobi, we're fine. The weather is not too bad here. Good morning to you, and indeed good morning to our viewers around the world.
It looks like I was the one who was making the weather very difficult across in Nairobi. Everybody is telling me that the weather in Nairobi is fantastic. It has had the sunshine. So, my God, thank you very much. This way, the weather has been very fantastic. It only rained heavily last night. It has not been hot. The weather is not really that one you expect in Mombasa, that you have to wear either trousers or shorts and a short sleeved. The weather is mild. It's mild with sunshine, and I can see across as I see the sea going back to where it usually visits very early in the morning, and then it starts coming back. I have seen it almost about 3-5 miles away, can see from where I'm seated. Good morning, Africa. Good morning, the people of Kenya. Good morning, the people of Commonwealth. Good morning, the people of East Africa and Africa. Good morning, the people of the world. Thank you very much. This is Punchline Africa Television, the editor's memo. This morning, the editor's memo, Miriam, before I start, I think, let me give you a breather, so that, let me take a breather so that you can tell me exactly what is running, what has been the talk of the week. Last week, the Kenyans were all talking about one most important thing, the judiciary in Kenya. So give us a bit of breakdown, what you think, 1 or 2, 3, 4 points. Miriam, back to you in the headquarters in Nairobi.
All right, very well. Now we know that on May 23rd, 2021, a special 5-judge bench sitting at the High Court of Kenya at Nairobi declared unanimously that the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 was unconstitutional. The 5-judge bench struck down the proposed amendment, declaring that President does not have the authority under the Constitution and that a constitutional amendment can only be initiated by Parliament through a parliamentary initiative under Article 256 of the Kenyan Constitution or through popular initiative under Article 257 of the same constitution. And on Friday, the 20th August, Court of Appeal upheld the High Court ruling that the BBI is null and void and its process was unconstitutional. The High Court on Thursday, the 10th of June, declared President Uhuru Kenyatta's executive order that sought to restructure the judiciary and tribunals into state departments unconstitutional. And in February 16th, 2021, the High Court reversed President Uhuru Kenyatta's order issued last September following a petition challenging the move filed by the Law Society of Kenya. The court gave Ministry of Agriculture and the Attorney General 90 days to regularize the transfer of the Kenya Meat Commission from the military. And in June of this year, the High Court declared Nairobi Metropolitan Services unconstitutional in a suit filed by the Law Society of Kenya. And the High Court also declared President Uhuru Kenyatta's notice to include the Judicial Service Commission and Judiciary under the Executive unconstitutional. The order was issued in January 2020 and revised in May 2020. And in September last year, the former Chief Justice advised the President to dissolve Parliament in accordance with Article 261, Sub-Article 7 of the Kenyan Constitution. So those are just a few cases where we've seen, the courts in Kenya ruling against the government. They are in very key rulings that has left the tongues wagging across the country. Just a bit of a background there.
Thank you very much, Miriam. Thank you for the chronological events that have taken place for the last 4 years or more. Since 2013, the Republic of Kenya, the government of President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the presidency of the Jubilee Party, has never got any fair ruling that has come from the courts. Has the judiciary captured power in Kenya? Is the judiciary trying to illegally capture power? Is there state capture of the executive in Kenya? These are the issues that we want to address. What precedent does it set in the Commonwealth, in East Africa, in Africa? What precedent does it set for a court to take up decisions that capture state power? We have seen this happening in South Africa, Miriam. The South Africans were very happy and they said they had one of the best constitutions that you can ever talk about. But look at South Africa today. It is under siege. The demolition, the breakup of the state, because the court turned on the state and ate it, even locked up the former president into jail. It has caused chaos in South Africa. Does Kenya see where we are heading with judicial capturing the state? Is Kenya watching? Are Kenyans aware? Are East Africans aware? What security problems will it bring to East Africa if Kenyan state falls into a fragmented state because of the capture of the state power by the judiciary? When you have a judiciary telling you that you don't need to do a referendum, how on earth does the judiciary tell the people who made a constitution that you don't do any referendum unless you come to ask the court to make a decision? Surely, Miriam, in the normal circumstances, even if you have not gone to school to study any law, such actions we must seek further clarification. What are the parameters? Where does the judiciary end? What can the judiciary do to save its image? What relationship should we have between the judiciary and the executive? Is there a struggle for power? Has the judiciary amassed enough power to stop all the programs of the state? The Kenyan state today is acting without any pilot on the question of implementing the decisions taken by the judiciary. We can't implement decisions that are obnoxious. Obnoxious decisions taken by the courts in Kenya could lead to a conflict. And that conflict can lead to an uprising. And that uprising can lead to the killing of people. And that killing of people can lead us to go to the Hague. And that Hague can bring down this nation. We are not going to keep quiet. What affects Kenya affects us. What affects Kenya affects the Commonwealth. The Kenyan law is based on the Commonwealth law. There is no need of judges hiding under the Commonwealth law and quoting the Commonwealth law, and then they don't want other people to come in to check on them. As a Commonwealth individual, a citizen of the Commonwealth, I have the authority, the mandate, the right to come and ask, what is this law in Kenya where the judges have the right to stop a state from function? Miriam, believe me or not, the panel of Javan Karanja, Douglas Kirimi, Joseph Nyachama, good morning, all of you, wherever you are. One in Meru, thank you very much for your campaigns. One in Nanyuki, thank you very much for your support. One across to Dr. Joseph Nyachama in Nairobi. Does the judiciary, has the judiciary in Kenya, Miriam, captured state power? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Today, there are many Kenyans celebrating. In 2007, 2008, there were many celebrating who were saying, we stand for justice. We want the culprits to go. Don't be vague. Let's go to the Hague. Miriam, do you remember such? Mm-hmm. Why? There was no constitution. Today, the Kenyan constitution, out of the entire sections of the constitution, there is no constitution in the world which is 100% foolproof. So I disagree with any judge who talks about the doctrine of the basic structures changing. The constitution is never bulletproof, or it has no permanent life. Constitutions keep on changing. Constitutionalism in Africa changes, in Europe changes, in America changes. Because we did not put enough proof, sealed enough holes in our constitution. The Constitution of Republic of Kenya lacks. It was cut and pasted from the American Constitution and from the South African Constitution. Miriam, I therefore want to tell you and put it to you that it's cut and pasted from both institutions, where there is a presidency and then where you see the Prime Minister, the Westminster Abbey type of constitution. The editor's memo finds that a cut and a pasted constitution of Kenya needs a lot of revamping. Whether it is here or tomorrow or wherever it is, the Kenyan constitution will need revamping. The editor's memo finds that it is a very bad precedent to create a president of that nature in the Commonwealth, where the head of state is under siege, where the judiciary besieges the head of state. As we speak now, you have listed several orders, Miriam, several rulings, judgments, nullifying whatever the government was trying to do. Who is behind the nullification? Who gains in this nullification? How many people in Kenya can even quote out of the 45 million? How many people can quote the Constitution, 10 pages of the Constitution? How many? How many elite people read the Constitution? How many lawyers in Kenya, even if you ask them a simple question, they will need to put that constitution and read. And read first, then say, I am quoting. How many? That is why where we got this English and education and civilization, the British government does not have a constitution. It does not have a written constitution. Miriam, I want you to find out and dig down why the British system that brought us this independence and gave us education, schools, and other things, avoided having a written constitution. I want us to begin to add and add value to our discussions. But how many of you know that Britain is governed not on the constitution, but is governed on norms? That's it. It is a law in Britain that when a bus comes, it is first come, first serve. Those who are there first enter the bus. If it is full, you have to queue and wait. But in Kenya, you need to make a law. A few minutes ago, the governor of Nairobi has just made a law that there is no spitting in the streets of Nairobi. No spitting. You must have a handkerchief. But it's not a law in Britain. It's not. You can't spit in the streets in Britain. Even you will be more ashamed if someone sees you spitting. You feel ashamed. Even a younger kid will come and say, Daddy, look, this man is spitting. It is not a written law in Britain at all. It is something that we want to find out today. Why is there a written constitution in Britain? In Kenya and not in Britain? The editor's memo wants to return to Miriam and tell you that this, if not checked, the point I want to make here, that if the people of Kenya don't come out to check on the excesses of the judiciary would create what we call a legal coup that could create an uprising where people would fight and the people will kill each other and we shall end up in a conflict. Thank you very much. Right from Mombasa, the coastal city of the Republic of Kenya, we are here, we are observing, we are thinking of what next steps after Friday, Miriam. For me, I want to tell you frankly, my sister, that I am not keeping quiet. I am not keeping quiet. And I think you have seen what I've written over the weekend. If you have not gone through it, try to go through by reasoning. I have never seen a court in any world which tells Kirimi that you will do a referendum, not today, but you will do it in 2030. I have never. For me, I will go ahead to petition other agencies in the Commonwealth, because the judges in Kenya have been quoting the Commonwealth. India is Commonwealth. Britain is Commonwealth. Uganda is Commonwealth. So they will be brought to accountability, to account for the judgment they made. I want to take this opportunity to thank Madam Judge Justice Fatuma Shichari for standing up for the truth. And Miriam, I want to tell, I have been here. Why I decided to be in Mombasa is to read fully the 392 pages so that I understand, because I'm going to be representing myself in the East African Court of Justice and in the African Court of Justice. If you are thinking you will do your elections, you must wait for the adversary notes. If you are thinking you are going to cause chaos, if you think that the BBI was not going to bring peace, just wait for my actions. Just wait for the notes, adversary notes that will come from the African Court of Justice. If this was justified, that you are not creating injustice to the people of Kenya, which will result into killings, which will result into Uganda being affected, then you wait and see. If you think that the 28 refugees that went to Uganda in my county in Uganda have settled in my county since 2008, if you think they have no right to tell me that they thought they would return after there is a reconciliation under BBI, then just wait and see. They have a right, they are Kenyans. They are still in our county. They are still in my parish. They are doing M-Pesa. They have a right to tell me to take up the matter. So don't query me. I just want to bring the notice of amicus curiae to whoever is interested on behalf of the 28 families whom have now produced children. They might be about 200 and something, who are still in my county, in the border district of Uganda. So that is where I'm heading. Don't be surprised. Those who want to join me will find me ahead. We always lead, others follow. That's the bus that leaves Mombasa. Back to you in the studio, Miriam. Thank you.
Right. Doctor, thank you so much for that submission. Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, very good morning to you. Okay, I don't know if Dr. Nyanchama can hear me, but I think I'll go to Douglas Kirimi. Douglas, good morning.
Very good morning to you, Miriam Mogutu, to Dr. David Matsanga from the Political Command Center in Mombasa, and also to Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, my friend Jivan Karanja, and to our friends across the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where they're watching us from. Thank you, Miriam, for having me on the show.
Go ahead. From what Doctor has said, what's your...
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Miriam. I also believe, and I hold the sentiments that have been displayed or spoken of by Dr. David Matsanga, that at the end of the day, who is supposed to win is the person or the common man in this country. The common man is not winning because of partisan interest that has been embedded in judiciary. Our judiciary is a judiciary that is under capture, Miriam. And at the end of the day, the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya has reserved the absolute power to the people of Kenya. And then at the end, we need to be able to familiarize ourselves with Article 1 of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya that says that all sovereignty belongs to the people of Kenya. We shall exercise it directly or indirectly through elected representatives. The judges are not demigods. The judges cannot be able to stop the will of the people, and the will of the people cannot be able to be arrested at judiciary by mandarins or people that have been sent to be able to destabilize our judiciary and in essence continue to destabilize our own country and the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Miriam, we need to be able to say as it is, because BBI is a product for and from the people of Kenya for their good and for their welfare. When you tell us, Miriam, as a judge, you're going to stop the BBI process because you do not want the contributions to come from 15% to that 5%, these allocations to counties. When you tell us that we are going to lose constituencies in this country, that we are going to lose more money for development of our people, that you are going to make sure that our people, our younger generation, that they continue wallowing in poverty and unemployment in this country, Miriam, because I do not find a reason why we, the people of Kenya, should continue being held at ransom by a judiciary that do not want the will of the people, the BBI, to be taken to the people, that the referendum shall be voted for by the people of Kenya, for whose welfare and good the BBI was, Miriam. At the end of the day, did the people of Kenya give themselves this constitution? No. The constitution of the Republic of Kenya was muted by government and the opposition of that time when they came together in 2010 and they made sure that the people of Kenya have a guiding document. The people of Kenya gave their views for that constitution, and the constitution of the Republic of Kenya serves as it is today. The constitution of the Republic of Kenya, Miriam, is not an eternal document. This constitution can and will be amended whether today or tomorrow. We shall amend the constitution of the Republic of Kenya because the people of Kenya have said that their devolution allocation moved from 15% to that 5%. They have said that the youth commission be entrenched in the constitution such that all bylaws or any other regulation guiding any principle or any other guiding principle that touches on the welfare of the younger people in this country shall be entrenched in the constitution. There is the welfare and the good of this country. There is for the welfare and the good of this country that we, the people of Kenya, want the BBI process to continue. The judiciary in the Republic of Kenya, Miriam, I agree with Dr. David Matsanga, has been captured by some foreign mandarins, our people in this country who do not want this country to go forward, who would continue to see people of Kenya continue wallowing in poverty, continue seeing counties without proper funding and counties in this country, Miriam, without proper funds to be able to take their development records to the next level. We all agreed that nine years ago, when devolution came into the effect in this country, we have been able to experience tremendous development to our regions and to our counties. But these people who are killing BBI from the courts should be ashamed of themselves, Miriam, and we should be able to disentangle the wishes and the will of the people of Kenya from a judiciary that has made themselves demigods against the will of the people. Even the constitution itself cannot pre-exist the people of Kenya. What if all of us, the people of Kenya, move away from this country, Miriam? What is that constitution going to guide? What is that constitution going to help? Who are we going to be serving, Miriam? Who are we going to be guiding? Who are we going to be sending court orders to stop? Miriam, I have very, very good questions that these judges should be able to answer me. As a Kenyan, as a voter, and as a resident of my fatherland. If today we move to America, all of us, including the President of the Republic of Kenya, for whose behalf and whose welfare those judges are going to give those court orders. This country, Miriam, does not belong to these judges. The judicial capture in this country should be stopped by all means, Miriam. They should be patriotic to their fatherland. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey.
Thank you.
What? Why? There you are.
All right. Jeevan.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, Miriam, and good morning to our viewers. I see that is very passionate this morning, and that's the feel all patriot Kenyans who love this country to the core. Because, Miriam, when the will of the people is being stopped by a judiciary, by few people who are not a representative of the people of Kenya, who are not elected. You know, Miriam, if there are people who hold the biggest mandate to this country, is the president and the deputy president, because they were elected and to lead the executive, but the judiciary, the appointees of the state. But Miriam, that is not the problem. The problem is the judiciary that is mandated to interpret the law, interfering with the same law. Therefore, that is the last thing, because the judiciary, as the custodian of the Constitution, they need to interpret the law, they need to give guidance to what needs to be done, but not to come and be a stumbling block in the way of the people of Kenya, or what the people of Kenya want to do with their Constitution. Because from what I understand, the Constitution is a living document, and the Constitution is here to guide a country. And if the people of a particular nation feels like their Constitution is not living to the mandate, The constitution has outlived its mandate. What they need to do is to refight their constitution by adding some inputs, by bringing some amendments, by bringing some clauses so that they can make it better, so that the constitution can be aligned with the modern times or with the recent time. And that is what we were hoping to do with the BBI, so that we can add something on our constitution that help the people of Kenya grow and develop and live in unity and diversity, and everyone to feel as part and parcel of this country. Therefore, it is a very unfortunate that our judiciary, they are really not keen on interpreting the law, but they are interfering with the wills of Kenya, with the wills of Kenyans. And I hope in future we need to work on our judiciary so that they not be so powerful, because I think this is all our problem as Kenyans, because the constitution that we have to the 2010 constitution, after being promulgated, it gives too much powers to the judiciary to a point where they can override all other arms of government. I think we need to balance so that all arms of government will be reading from the same, from the same ground, without really having one more powerful arm that cannot be put into checks and balance. Number two, Miriam, that is quite worrying to me as an ordinary Kenyan and as a young man in this country, is when our court saying that the procedural adherence to the change of the constitution through the BBI was not meant. And I'm wondering, these guys, because they're saying that the initiator of a constitution change should be an ordinary Kenyan, we need also to understand who meets to be, what qualifies someone to be the initiator of this constitution amendment bill. Because when they say an ordinary man, when they say Wajiko needs to be the author of this constitution, all Wajiko cannot meet the qualification. All Wajikos cannot be the one to lead for a constitutional revolution or a constitutional amendment change. Therefore, we need to know from their basic understanding of the law, who is this person who can start this constitutional change? Because from what I know and from a layman understanding, not everyone can be this Wanjiku that they're saying, and not everyone who can start the process. Number two, not all Kenyans who have the financial capacity to collect signatures to lead for that kind of a magnitude event, occasion or an event to change the constitution. Therefore, the law should be very clear on what needs to be done when we want to change the constitution. Because from what I'm getting from the Court of Appeal, they are making the process so tiresome, they are making the process to change the constitution so difficult, such that in future we might have a rigid document that will not be prone to changes, that a constitution that will not be changed in future. Because for Miriam, if you are keen to see what the judges are saying, they are making the process, the procedural changes, the procedural requirement to change the constitution to be an uphill task, to be so difficult that such that in future, Miriam, we may not be able to change the constitution. Therefore, that is why I see it was wise to have some Kenyans go to the Court of Appeal, to go to the Supreme Court, so that really we can have some way forward on what needs to be done to change our constitution, so that we can get an interpretation of that. Because Miriam, as it stands now, it will be hard to change this constitution in future if we continue with this trend. We will have this constitution remains with us for many years, and if we want to change it, it will be so difficult. We'll have to go so many hurdles that are quite unsuccessful also to achieve. Therefore, on that juncture, I beg to submit.
All right. And I've had you, going around what the judges, termed as the basic structure, the fundamental pillars in the Constitution, which according to them should not really be touched. All right. Dr. Joseph Nyanchama.
Thank you, Miriam, fellow panelists, Dr. Masanga, Douglas, and Jafan. I think, Miriam, sometimes the moment you mention these judges who made the ruling, I get sick, because as Dr. Masanga alluded earlier, most of the most progressive nations in the world in terms of constitution, significant part of them, they are unwritten. Written constitution, you know why? So that they significantly leave the portion to derive the norm for self-governance. You see, You cannot focus on everything written. You have to read and correlate. No. Law is common sense. Common sense to the extent that the way the Constitution is puts the life of our people in a risky situation, especially when we approach elections. That is what we talk about, common sense. I admired one of the judges who said, in fact, why I support this proposition is that some judges can also be rogue. She said it in courtroom. Why I support some of the provision here is going also to control some judges who are rogue. And she went further to say, we are human beings. She was absolutely right. And the rogueness of some of those judges was evident in their rulings. Miriam, one of the most dangerous rulings that they upheld is in fact the IABC quorum issue. Already, in fact, the experts, constitutional experts who participated in framing the Constitution, has already said the 26 elective posts by elections is in limbo. That if any Kenyan can go to court, they can be declared illegally in office because those by policy who carried out the elections were not properly constituted to come up with rules to govern or to direct the elections. You can imagine the unnecessary situation the judges are putting the country at. Miriam, did you see people celebrating out of the judgment, including those who succeeded in the by-elections without realizing actually they are facing imminent expulsion from parliament because by the ruling, then they are not properly elected to represent their people in parliament. What do I say in a nutshell, Miriam, here today? Me, I want to advise all the well-meaning lawyers, proponent of this particular issue, to move to the Supreme Court and name the judges because the judiciary is increasing the risk of this republic. Why? Because, you know, Miriam, we are a developing nation. Because attribute of a nationhood change as nations progress from childhood to adolescent to maturity. And as the nation changed through those phases, there are two critical factors. We consider the level of cohesion that the nation has achieved as a physical and a demographic entity, and also the degree of coherence it has developed as a political aspiration. Look at the level of cohesiveness. We are always divisive in nature during elections. And these are issues the courts need to look at. And they check the provisions in the PBI was going to heal and lessen the risk here. I don't want to labor too much, Miriam. Mm-hmm. Before I conclude, one of the most disturbing issues the judges said was that the majority of Kenyans do not know how to read and write. You don't need to know how to read and write for you to be intelligent. Intellect has nothing to do with English or reading and write. In fact, Tofra said the illiterate of the 21st century are those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn from past situations, who are now illiterate themselves. Finally, Miriam, They talked about opportunity to participate. Remember, during a referendum, issues now are brought up. That is when you confirm whether you agree with this or you don't agree. That is one way of participation. There was a level of participation still, because issues now were to be deliberated, debated in public even 1 full month. What do you call about the participation anyway, Miriam? These issues must be looked at soberly so that we avert a potential crisis and the chaos in this republic. And I want to warn those who celebrate. When you succeed, you don't dance in the street, you reflect. Because the most dangerous part of a soldier who has won in the war is his way back home. I submit, Miriam. I'm sorry for taking long.
No, it's okay, Dr. Ari. Thank you so much. We appreciate your contribution. Back to you, Dr. David Matanga. Doctor, from Mombasa.
Yes.
Yes.
Miriam, Dr. Nyajama Kirimi, Najabani Karanja, and Miriam. It is very sad for the judges to sit and call His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. At the same time, another judge calls him Mr. Kenyatta. And others call him nothing. In the court of law, the same judges, in their ruling in different aspects, none of them addressed the president in the proper way. The president was supposed to be addressed, Mr. President. Because of your constitution, talks about Mr. President. Mr. President. So the judgment is stupid, null, and void. To me, I'm going further. Kirimi, just finish what you are doing in Meru and win a seat. If you don't, you'll find me in Arusha. Across the bridge in Arusha. I'm gonna camp in Arusha. After Arusha, I will camp in West Africa, Bangui, where the headquarters of the African Court of Appeal. For an opinion, I just want other international guys, not these Kenyan 11 judges. I am not interested. And don't tell me anything, Mr. Joseph Nanchama. Come and we wrestle in the international scene. I don't care about your court of Supreme Court. Let them make their judgment. Mine is now, they have let the cat out. Miriam, the cat is out. Anybody going to do business in Kenya must either come when he has got tomahawks. You know what tomahawks are? Prepared to fight a war before you do business, because we don't know the confusion that the 7 judges have put people, the 6, because 2 of them did not. One abstained as a chairman, and the one said he does not recognize anybody or his friends. He wrote a dissenting judgment. Upon holding that dissenting judgment of Fatuma Shichale, Miriam, I'm already on board flight number KQ 442 to Dar es Salaam, and then come to Kilimanjaro. I don't want to waste much time around your country. Let's sort out there. Martha Karua left here after courts frustrated her. She came back with 2.5 million shillings. awarded it to her. Don't worry. We are not going to waste time with these judges. But I want to tell you, none of these judges will work in the Commonwealth. We are being very honest that they have made a hateful judgment. I can be one, the only one left, but I'm not alone. At least I have millions of supporters in this country, Kenya, who are saying there is something wrong with our judiciary. So those millions can be rescued. We can rescue the millions through an outside bigger court. The internal dynamics of the Supreme Court today is infiltrated by Mr. Ruto. You saw the celebrations that took place in where? In Eldoret. Only his hometown celebrated. I want therefore to ask, if Ruto's hometown is celebrated, what about if he loses? Is there an answer that someone can give me here? If they lose, what will happen? Therefore, we must, it is, if 80 chapters of the Constitution are defective, then what is the Constitution then? In 2010, Ruto opened his white teeth and told us, you know, my teeth is not very white. My teeth is brown. So I have done nothing wrong by thanking him to have had white teeth. Mine had drunk some uncoordinated water. So Miriam, he opened and told us the Constitution was not right. In 2021, 11 years passed. We want to correct the mistake that he talked. He has changed. He has brought in populist announcements, embarrassed on Twitter, a whole deputy head of state writing such childish Twitter tweets with very terrible English. Then what type of leader do you have who is going to lead you? That type of English you saw. I don't think Ruto can construct 10 pages of his own speech. He's being written speeches by Ngeno, who apparently has lost even the value. I don't know whether Ruto, at least President Museveni writes. Miriam, I want to assure you one thing. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, my man across, writes his speeches, but I don't think Ruto knows how to write speeches. Ruto knows if you put money there and tell him there is 1 billion here, he will write very well. But I don't think he writes speeches. Neither does he write his tweets. I think somebody else writes his tweets, which is very sad. Therefore, Miriam, if I can just break you some breaking news, which I have been quoted already by a current David Matanga, father has said that the second in command of the Republic of Kenya, William Ruto, does not want him to speak because he's a Ugandan. But at the end of it, he won the case. Here is what Dr. Matanga shared on his official Facebook, which is their page alleging that 11 judges who planned a legal coup to capture the state power, which is very true. Even if I remain alone, I will not agree with the ruling of 11 judges. As long as I am a citizen of the Commonwealth, the Commonwealth law has been diluted here. Out of 12, in both courts, 1 judge was correct. I will use that to go out there to seek more answers. Thanks, Justice Shichari. I will oppose such trash rulings. I was alone in 2007, 2008, when I opposed the ICC and its fake investigations in Kenya. The same activists like Hassan Omar, Makau Mutua, wanted me to be jailed. But later on, those who wanted me jailed today, including William Ruto, are enjoying what I fought for and speak about it as a Ugandan. But in the end, I won the battle. It is not their lawyers who won, but my 21 amicus curiae applications and interventions that won the ICC cases. I was vindicated. I am happy man today that ICC is a trash, as I called it then. Furthermore, today, those shouting and calling me names will come to agree with me later when they see sense. A gang of 11 legal activists placed as judges are allowed to plan a legal coup against the state. I cannot sit and wait and watch. I've taken my stand. Miriam, as the editor's point of view, that story can be found everywhere in Opera. It is now all over the whole world. And I'm doing it. I have no regrets. Single-handedly. In 2008, you saw me. Some people wanted to stone me. Some people switched off their TVs when I was talking because they wanted people in prison. Later on, they found out that what I said in 2007 was correct. Therefore, for me, I am ahead and I've gone ahead. I want to thank you all for supporting me. Those who I know it is costly, but I will manage. I will push until I get adversary notes, advice from higher institutions that know whether the rights of Kenyans are being infringed or not. The rights of the Commonwealth. Because, Miriam, do you know the problem? If we leave this case standing without challenging it, do you know the circumstances that will follow? People in the Commonwealth will use it to stage legal coups against governments. What stops you to go the South African way? You saw the riots when a legal coup was used to arrest a former president. Look at where South Africa is with the pandemic eating its way. At the same time, Zuma languishing in jail, ending up in a hospital bed, being operated on. We don't know whether he is going to come out of it. It can cause trouble. What stops it to cause trouble, therefore, in Kenya? Miriam, the editor's memo submits that it was not a judgment worth calling a judgment. It was trash. Right. The word, I don't know, Kirimi, I don't know, you are not yourself today, but you are not feeling well, I can hear. It is called TRASH, trash. So if the judges have a problem, they can issue a warrant of arrest for me calling it trash, or we go to the civil, same court. I will give answers as to why I called it trash. It's not a judgment. It's trash, it's garbage. It has caused more confusion in this country. If you look at the overall security sector, Miriam, we are already, look at your headlines. Let's look at the headlines. Here we are. This morning I was talking to people. There are several delegates who have come from South Africa, Zimbabwe. They are here in Mombasa, in the place where I am right now. They have a conferences all over. For people who don't look at the headline, Ruto sustains attack on rivals. You are attacking rivals on what? The rivals have not started rallies like you started. You went to the president's backyard, dismantled his credibility, belittled the president. I will never. And Miriam, when I talk about it, my blood pressure goes up. I said, this guy had the powers to go and belittle his friend in his own place, create division, create MPs to insult the president. I have no respect for him. Look at this type of headlines. The editor's memo looks at this one. Look, of course, Ruto is buying the newspaper called The Star. And the Radio 1 is being sold to Ruto. And Talam is always there. This opinion poll is for Talam. This one with brown teeth. I don't know whether brown or what. Talam. You know? Look at this. No. That 43, he can leave. 40, where? There's nobody you are competing with now. Raila has not campaigned like Ruto. Isn't it, Miriam? How do you call this an opinion call? Nobody is holding meetings like he's holding a meeting now in Western Kenya. Just trying to hold a meeting so that somebody crosses from Uganda and gives some few dollars near Western Kenya. That's what he's doing. Because the main thing failed. The mafia money he had brought for money failed. You know that. Why is he not talking about it anymore? The Equity Bank general manager today is releasing so many secrets. We are still not yet. Ruto might not be on the ballot because of chapter 6. Yes, so he should not celebrate so much. Chapter 6 of Kenya. And some of this, by the way, Miriam, your elections could be delayed. Because if you disagree with the advice of the African court, they don't send you observers. Have you seen the hurdles? Yes. Have you seen the hurdles? President Uhuru Kenyatta has powers as an existing president to nullify your election, even if you have conducted it very well. So Ruto, please go slow. You could wait for a long time. There could be nullification if there is a fight in the elections and the set was not done properly. The president can declare it null and void. What will happen? It happened in Ivory Coast. The Constitutional Court declared the elections and the other person declared a different thing. So the BBI was the best way to go on it, Miriam. I want to thank you very much. It is 3 minutes past 12 East African Standard Time. For me, from the coastal city, I continue with my reading of 392 pages. I have completed them, Mr. Douglas Kirimi. I have taken, and by Wednesday morning, Mr. Kirimi, you will see my bundle. Miriam, you will see my bundle. Nyachama, you will see the bundles. I am headed towards Arusha. I'm headed towards Kenya Airways to Arusha, Kilimanjaro International Airport. So thank you very much so that I can file my application, petition, and I lodge them in time to fast track them for a ruling to sit so that we can see the way forward. So as far as action is concerned, I've done it. Thank you.
All right. And that is where we end our show this afternoon. Thank you so much, Dr. David Matsanga, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, Douglas Kirimi, and Jevan Karanja. This has been the editor's memo there. I shall see you back here at 3 p.m. with more news from across the continent. We thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.